identically, 115 to 113 for your winner by unanimous decision. He's still undefeated. Still the Canadian light heavyweight champion, Dmitry Bivol.
So Floyd Mayweather gave his reaction to the European assassin Canelo Alvarez getting assassinated by a European in Bivol last night, losing every single round to Bivol, where Floyd Mayweather said, quote, "Easy pickup," end of the quote, after betting money on Bivol to beat Canelo Alvarez, which is a huge gamble when you factor in Canelo Alvarez is already 5 rounds up on the judges' scorecards before the fight even begins. Like I said, leading up to the fight, Bivol's ultimate opponent is not Canelo Alvarez come fight night. Absolutely not. It was more so the actual judges, since Canelo tends to have the judges' scorecards in his pocket. That's why these judges have to be investigated. You can't possibly give Canelo Alvarez 5 rounds against Bivol, as Bivol clearly won every single minute of every single round, just like when Floyd Mayweather smashed Canelo Alvarez from pillar to post. Therefore, for the judges to have the fight 115 to 113 in favor of Bivol is a disgrace and a black eye on the sport of boxing as a whole. With the 115 to 113 scorecards, the judges pretty much said, "Yeah, we tried our best to rob you, but we was unsuccessful." That's why these judges have to be investigated and never should be allowed to judge a fight again. We even seen TBE, the face of boxing, the name of boxing, who carried boxing on his back when he was fighting. Floyd, who whooped your favorite fighter ass for the money. That's why you hating on him. Mayweather. The moment he fought Canelo Alvarez, dominating him every single minute of every single round. Would you believe one judge had it a draw, 2 other judges had it very close? And this is against Floyd Mayweather we talking about. Then Canelo went on to rob Lara. Even when Canelo fought Trout, one judge had Canelo winning every single round. We seen the scorecards with Triple G. And we seen the scorecards last night. Therefore, if you notice, the pattern of corruption is as clear as day in the sport of boxing. That's why this corruption needs to be investigated, and these judges should never judge a fight again. Since they are playing with fire, they are playing with these fighters' career. These judges really out here destroying careers. Just look at Catterall versus Josh Taylor. That's a prime example. Where is Jack Catterall today? Better yet, where is he even ranked? That's my point exactly. He's not even on the top rankings after he beat Josh Taylor for undisputed, but got robbed. This is a serious issue. These judges really out here getting away with playing ping pong with fighters' careers who put their life, sweat, and tears into this. Last week, we seen Shakur Stevenson smash Canelo Alvarez PED partner in crime, Oscar Valdez, in the same fashion Bivol smashed Canelo Alvarez last night. Now, the judges had it right when Shakur beat the herbal tea out of Oscar Valdez, but when Bivol beat the contaminated meat out of Canelo Alvarez, some way, somehow, Bivol only won the fight by 1 round. We all know what time it is. I know the Canelo fans are on suicide watch as the European assassin Canelo Alvarez himself got assassinated by a European. With that being said, like I said a million times, Canelo Alvarez has never improved since he lost to Floyd Mayweather. And thanks to Bivol, that was further proven last night. The only thing Canelo improved was his ducking skills. Ducking the best African-American fighters. Ducking the Floyd Mayweather style. After all, Canelo Alvarez's own trainer and Eddie Reynoso said, quote, "African-American fighters are the most difficult. They are the most complicated to beat." End of the quote. Remember, Canelo fans, this is not what I said. This is what Canelo Alvarez's own trainer said. That's why Canelo Alvarez created. He's the pioneer. of the No Black Fighters Witness Protection franchise. Canelo legacy will be remembered for creating the NBF League in the sport of boxing. Canelo created a duck print for all of the ducks to follow. However, ducking season is over, thanks to cherry picking going wrong. This is what it looks like when a cherry bites back. I tried to tell you all leading up to the fight that this will be another episode of cherry picking going wrong, just like when Teofimo Lopez ducked Devin Haney for undisputed to lose to George Kambosos. To all of the Canelo fans, the reason why this was a cherry pick, not because Bivol is not a good fighter. I told you all he was a good fighter. It's the contrary. It's because no one told Canelo to fight Bivol. No one requested Canelo to fight Bivol. I mean, even Canelo Alvarez's own fans did not pick Canelo to fight Bivol next, as you all see on the polls above. That's why when you saw champions, trainers, so on and so forth pick Canelo to beat Bivol with ease, it's because no one knew Bivol. That's what made this fight a cherry pick. Everyone was asking Canelo to fight Charlo, Benavidez, Andrade. However, Canelo, he went the easiest route, at least in his mind. Canelo thought Bivol was the safest route, thinking he's another traditional European, only to have a wake-up call during the actual fight that this may be the Mexican assassin on some Roger Mayweather stuff. However, to be that, he have to go through the Mexican monster Benavidez and Ramirez at 175. For now, Bivol is the hype job assassin. Floyd Mayweather tried to tell you guys, Canelo was his easiest fight. Now Bivol said the same thing, that Canelo Alvarez was also his easiest fight. And I truly believe if Bivol stepped up on the gas in the later rounds, he would have stopped Canelo Alvarez. Canelo was fatigued, frustrated, he needed some milk, and was ready to go. That's why if the rematch happens, I got Bivol knocking out Canelo Alvarez for the obvious fact, Bivol respected Canelo more than he should during the fight, thanks to old media hyping up Canelo Alvarez. Now that he knows how flawed he is and the fact that he only throws power shots, where he's telegraphing every single haymaker he throws, leaving him gasping for air after every single punch, this gonna make a recipe for a knockout for Bivol in a rematch. That's why when Canelo said he won a rematch, that sounded like music to Bivol ears. But I don't believe Canelo is gonna activate his rematch clause. There is nothing Canelo can do to beat Bivol. There is nothing Canelo can improve. He always have been a flawed fighter. Floyd Mayweather tried to tell you guys that a million times. Canelo still can't take the jab away to save his life. He still can't move his feet. His feet are stuck in the mud. He has major troubles against boxers. He has major troubles against fighters that had good footwork. Plus, Canelo Alvarez has a low boxing IQ where he's easily frustrated. I told you all, this is not the first time Canelo got exposed. Even after the Floyd Mayweather fight, Canelo lost to Lara and robbed him. Amir Khan, moving up 2 weight divisions, was outboxing Canelo Alvarez with ease before he got knocked out. Gennady Golovkin was beating down Canelo. Kovalev, Billy Joe Saunders, and Caleb Plant were all outboxing Canelo Alvarez before they got stopped in the later rounds. Canelo Alvarez have been getting exposed by B-level fighters his entire career, while old media kept trying to brainwash the public that Canelo is dominant. Even leading up to the Bivol fight, Canelo said, it's gonna be tough for the first 6 rounds. The same thing Corrales said about Floyd Mayweather. See, Canelo is a bully, but last night he got bullied. So you telling me Canelo Alvarez is getting beat up for the first 6 rounds every time he spars? Like, it's so crazy for him to make that statement because 6 rounds is half of the damn fight. It takes Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones 1 round to figure out their opponent. However, for Canelo Alvarez, it takes 6 rounds to get beat up. Then he may get started. So what if you never get started? That's exactly what happened last night. Furthermore, Leading up to the fight, everyone kept saying Canelo Alvarez can pick and choose whoever he wants to fight, just like Floyd Mayweather did. And you guys are absolutely right. That's why Canelo is a major duck. He's the duck of boxing. Because when Floyd Mayweather was in position to fight whoever he wants to fight, Floyd Mayweather fought the best every single time. When everyone was telling him, fight Pacquiao, you're scared of Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather sent Pacquiao an offer. However, it was Pacquiao who turned down the offer back in 2009, prime for prime, because of a steroid test. Then, when Pacquiao stopped eating out of the forbidden fruit, Floyd Mayweather fought him right away. So, it was Pacquiao who was ducking. When everyone told Floyd to fight Sugar Shane Mosley, he fought Sugar Shane Mosley right away. When everyone asked Floyd Mayweather to fight Canelo, he fought him right away. When everyone asked Floyd Mayweather to fight Ortiz, Guerrero, Maidana, he fought them right away. Go back and watch the interviews with Floyd Mayweather and Brian Kenny. Every time Brian Kenny accused Floyd Mayweather of avoiding anyone or demanded Floyd to fight anybody from Ricky Hatton to Baldemir to you name it, from Corrales, so on and so forth, Floyd Mayweather fought them right away. On the other hand, Canelo Alvarez, we have been asking Canelo Alvarez to fight Charlo, Andrade, and Benavidez for the past 8 years. To this day, Canelo Alvarez have yet to fight any one of them, despite the fact that Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, Chavez Sr., Barrera, Morales, Oscar De La Hoya, Hopkins, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, etc., 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 all have asked Canelo to fight them. Canelo said, I don't care. I don't care what you guys want me to do. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to go out there and lose to another Floyd Mayweather. So yeah, when Canelo is in position to pick and choose whoever he wants to fight, just like Floyd Mayweather, unlike Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez picks and chooses the weakest opposition. If Canelo doesn't feel that he can beat you, he's not going to pick you. That's why he called Andrade a horrible fighter, but fought Avni Yildirim. Canelo Alvarez fought the entire Smith family from the UK that no one knew. However, he did not fight none of the Charlo twins in Texas. Last but not least, just like new media, Floyd Mayweather have always rated Crawford as boxing pound for pound #1. While we have seen old media hype jobs get exposed one by one, from Roman Gonzalez to Gennady Golovkin to Kovalev to Lomachenko, not Canelo Alvarez, while Crawford have remained supreme this entire time, knocking out every single opponent for the past 5 years. From Porter, Kell Brook, Jeff Horn, the first to become undisputed in 13 years, breaking the ice, becoming a trendsetter in the sport of boxing. But when Crawford became undisputed, old media didn't care. When Canelo became undisputed, it was the biggest thing in the world. Also, Crawford is finally now in position to pick and choose who he wants to fight. And he's looking to fight Errol Spence, then Charlo next. That's a true pound for pound king. Unlike the true cherry picking king, Canelo Alvarez. You see the difference between what Canelo Alvarez did with that position and what Floyd Mayweather did and what Crawford is doing now. That's my point exactly. More importantly, Canelo Alvarez said he's in his prime. No one can beat him right now because he's at his best. He kept making excuses to why he lost to Floyd Mayweather. And ironically today, Canelo Alvarez lost in the same fashion to Bivol. So I'm really looking forward to hear the freshest excuses out of the oven by Canelo Alvarez and his fans to why he got exposed tonight once again. I mean, you can't blame it on the weight because he knocked out a bigger man in Kovalev. He wanted to fight at cruiserweight. Canelo Alvarez walks around 200 pounds, and he came in tonight at nearly 200 pounds. He was as big as Bivol, and that's a fact. Even then, we all know Floyd Mayweather was 20 pounds smaller than Canelo Alvarez when they fought. And Floyd Mayweather still beat him the exact same way. Like I said before, there was a skill gap tonight. That's why the European assassin got assassinated tonight unexpectedly by a European. What a perfect cherry going wrong. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Akhi TV. Peace, and I'm on to the next one.